This is a download from BFM 89.9, the business station.
Hello, you're tuned in to I Love KL, the show that keeps you connected to the people and places of our capital city. Not too long ago, a short film was released documenting the life of Stevens Chan. Stevens lost his sight at the age of 45 after losing a long battle with glaucoma. The short film, produced by Jason Lim, went viral on social media as it highlighted the struggles of visually impaired KLites.
Mengapa tak boleh bang? Tak boleh bang. Ini untuk orang buta punya ni bang. Tak boleh bang, ini anjing tak boleh. Boleh bang, anjing tak boleh.
Stevens, together with his guide dog, a professionally trained Labrador, opened our eyes to the struggles that the blind in KL go through. So today on the show, we catch up with the star of the video, Stevens Chan, who runs a social enterprise called Dialogue in the Dark. Now, Dialogue in the Dark is an exhibition where visitors will be led in small groups to a pretty large room where they are guided through normal everyday activities such as shopping in a morning market, crossing a busy intersection, except it's all being done in absolute darkness. Here's Stevens Chan from that viral video, who's also the CEO of Dialogue in the Dark Malaysia.
Dialogue in the Dark was started by Dr. Andres Aniki. Yeah, it was at that time. He was working as a broadcast journalist, and one day he was asked by his boss to take care of a fellow journalist who became blind due to an accident. And so for him it was a new discovery of how to take care of the blind, and so what he did was he went there and he knocked at the door of this guy's house. And when a man opened the door, and that man was clean-cut, neat, well-shaven, to him he looks normal, and then asked, I'm here to interview a blind man and to help him. So the guy looked at him and said, I am the blind man. Right. For him that was his first shock. And immediately he found an answer that has been disturbing him for many years, because he is half Jew. Father is a Nazi, mother is a Jewish.
I see.
And so for him it was, I couldn't understand how can these two persons fall in love. One was genocide, killing Jews, and the other one was running away. So he found the answer immediately when he knocked on the door of this blind man, because it's all about judgment. In his mind, he has already judged his parents' relationship, and in his mind, he has already judged the blind, because to him, the blind is dirty, unkept, perhaps a beggar. So when he saw this well-kept young man standing in front of him, what was amazing for him is the next thing, he brought him into his apartment, and his apartment was clean, even cleaner than his, and served him coffee, sat down with him, light up a cigarette and smoked. So it inspired him, and he found an answer all his life. And then from there he left his job, went and worked in the blind society, but couldn't find the satisfaction he had, and then he decided that he's going to do something radical. He rented a place in Hamburg and darkened the entire area and called it a Dialogue in the Dark, where he got a blind person there and invited his friends to go in there and start a dialogue with the blind person in complete darkness. And that's where he started. And the first exhibition, 1988, and now it's like, it's touched more than 8 million people worldwide. Every day, nearly 2,000 people visit a Dialogue in the Dark exhibition somewhere around the world.
Right, so it started in Germany.
Yes, it started in Germany.
Now, you guys seem to be doing very well now. I'm just looking at the play cards there, and there's a lot of people, commenting and giving good recommendations. And like you said just now, there are a lot of social awareness campaigns on the disabled in KL especially. Yeah. But what makes Dialogue in the Dark different in that sense?
I guess it's putting the other person, they experience it themselves. It's good to just look at a disabled person to sympathize and feel bad, feel sad and about his situation, wanting to help them, but don't know how to help. Dialogue is different in the sense that we let you experience it. When you look at a blind person, what is the first thought in your mind? Sad? bad, something I don't want to be in, pitiful, sympathy, a lot. But what if the position is turned around right now? You go into their world, or my world. And now, you are the blind person. He becomes the sighted person.
So it's role reversal.
Reversal, because now he's able, because he can. It's his world. It's our world for the past years, And now you go in there without your eyesight, and you go through daily experiences where you are so used to. Suddenly, all those sounds, all those touch, all those smell becomes alive to you.
Yeah, it sounds different actually. It feels different.
Yeah.
I mean, I just went for the exhibition, and it was quite a scary experience for me. But you were talking about role reversal just now, and you never know what another person goes through until you step into his shoes.
Yeah. So when they come out, they then suddenly realize it's who is strong, who is weak. It's actually very depends on the environment.
Right.
Yeah. When you are in there, you became the weak one, he became the strong one. So when you come out, I become the weak one, you become the strong one. So it's actually based on the environment. But if given equal opportunity, I'm sure the blind, just like the sighted, can also be a contributor to a society rather than be seen as a burden.
Definitely. What's the goal of the exhibition?
All Malaysians to experience dialogue in the dark. So that we have a society that empathize, and appreciation, gratitude.
We are currently a visual-driven society. We get most of our information through our sight. When it comes to using our other senses, we kind of tend to neglect it because we have our sight.
I am also from the sighted world before, so I know how dependent I was on my eyesight. And that's where you sort of like lose touch with your other senses. When all of your other senses actually together with your eyesight. For example, when you close your eyes, that taste may give you a different perspective as compared to when you have your eyesight. Another example. You look at the plate of nasi lemak, looks delicious. Put that in your mouth, and then you felt, boy, no, the sambal is lousy. I hope I can do some justice in explaining this metaphor. So we depend on our eyesight to look at things, but when you taste it, it may not be the same. Or when you hear it, it may not be the truth. You have to take a different perspective. So that's what dialogue wants to do. Different perspective.
Putting one in the other person's shoes.
For example, we are so it's an angry society right now, so self-centered, and it's all about yourself. What if now we all take a step back and think of the other? Perhaps it will be better for everybody.
Stevens, can you just tell us more about yourself? I've actually seen a video of you that went viral, showing a day in the life of Stevens. Basically, you going out, you taking the bus, bus drivers rejecting you from going up. But that video doesn't really tell the story of what you go through every day. Can you just tell us about how you became blind and your struggles?
Okay, that video is semi-fiction. I wasn't born blind. I lost my eyesight at the age of 45 after battling 5 years with glaucoma, which is actually the world's leading cause of irreversible blindness. And I was a busy businessman. 5 years of combating this eyesight left me disabled. And thank God I came out of it a year later, and that's began my new calling in life, I guess.
When you say come out of it, come out of what?
Darkness. The 1 year I was like completely down and out, depressed, wanting to end it all. Coming out of it, it's like I found a new calling, and to create as much awareness as I can about preventable blindness, to stop, whatever I can from others to go through what I've gone through, and that's how I went into this community works, and what was shown on the video is just a message out there that we wanted to tell.
It's a very strong message.
About how the blind actually goes through, and it's because we wanted to start the Guide Dogs campaign. And guide dogs is another way of telling us, why are you looking at the dog and not at the human holding the leash? Yeah. So it's again a perspective matter again. The moment people see a dog, they reject. But they don't understand that this man who is holding it is a blind man, and he needs the guide dog to take him around. You know, it's that same as my daily, every day. I guess I'm more blessed than many of my other blind friends. I have a wife who is still caring for me a lot. She drives me to work and she works along with me. But there are many of them out there who's alone. So I'm just going out there to do whatever I can to speak for many of these who can't speak for themselves. So my daily is that work, advocating, working, whatever, I can to stop as many people as possible to join our club. Our club is also known as VIP club. It's visually impaired person club. And at the same time, through Dialogue in the Dark, we give training. We help those who are going through moments of darkness in their life, as there are many people who are losing their eyesight out there without people knowing it, the senior citizens or young children or teenagers for that matter. And when they experience what they have just experienced, a lot of families understand. And this is my life daily right now, what I'm doing. Yeah.
And being in KL, even for the sighted, is really, really dangerous. And I really just can't imagine going through it blind. But, different countries pose different challenges.
Yeah.
So for Dialogue in the Dark, the exhibition, how localized is it? Do you guys have teams over it?
Yes, right now we have a Chuti Malaysia in the dark. So people go in there and experience Mount Kinabalu Park in the dark, walk in Petaling Street, going to the beach. Yeah, the beach in there looks like Port Dickson anyway. So and Kopitiam. So it's very local in the sense that we bring in our local culture, our local life. We just finished Mooncake Festival in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now it's going to be Chuti Malaysia, a team which we want to continue to carry on, because I think it's attractive proposition here that we have for both foreign and local tourists, to experience sceneries that you won't get to experience anywhere else. Now you are not using your eyes to see Malaysia. Yeah.
Using your other senses.
And of course we also do cuisine experience in the dark with our country, with so much varieties of food. What is it like tasting it in the dark?
Do you find that once you lost your sight, your other senses started to grow and be maybe in that sense more powerful?
Tell you the truth, I don't realize it until I accepted my condition.
Right.
Initially, I was rejecting it all the way. So people tell me you should listen better, you should have smell better, you should taste better. I mean, for that 1 year when I was in that position, I was denying it. So it didn't make any difference for me. I still was blind, but thinking I'm sighted. It was only when I accepted my condition, things became different. I could hear clearer. I could hear echoes. That's how I depend on it. All the sight with the blind, we depend a lot on our hearing, smelling, and touching now.
Yeah.
And of course, food tastes different. Tastes different. It says that when you are sighted, you kind of rush through your food.
Yes.
Now you really have to be careful with your food, so you don't have to make a mess out of it. So you tend to taste it better. Yeah, you can tell.
Dialogue in the Dark's been around for 2 years now. What were some of the first reactions you had of your customers that walked in?
Well, every time someone comes out, and we always hear almost all will say, "Wow, I need to appreciate my eyesight," and "Wow, I didn't know you were blind," And what we felt very happy that we are touching lives every day, And for my team, it's really helping their self-esteem, because now they interact with the sighted people, which they don't get to do it. It's not an everyday thing that a blind person get to talk to a sighted person. But with Dialogue in the Dark, visitors come, tourists, children, corporate people, CEOs, big bosses, up to an office boy, a local housewife, everyone, and they are interacting with people from all these walks of life. So for them, it's really helping their self-esteem. They're really enjoying it. They get to share their story, They get to be the ambassadors for the blind, you know, so that people will have a different perspective of who the blind are.
That's great. And I know a huge chunk of your visitors come back for the second, third time.
Yeah.
Final question, Stevens. What's the end of the line for Dialogue in the Dark? Would you like to see 100% disability friendly city?
Yes. I think all of our partners all around the world, I mean, they are still facing their challenges locally. So for me, yes, I think I would work together with all of our partners worldwide on one subject, and that's inclusion. Yeah, it's important for us that disabled, whether it's blind, crippled, deaf, mute, you know, or even senior citizens for that matter, be a part of society. It's inclusion. A person is disabled mainly is because of the environment and the attitude of people. If that, hopefully, with Dialogue in the Dark, when they experience a reversal of roles, it may be realized one day.
If you'd like to step in your shoes and do a little role reversal, do check out Dialogue in the Dark. Now, the exhibition is located at the school, Jaya 1, and runs from 10 in the morning to 7 in the evening. Coming up, Alana Rebecca speaks to Alfred Ho, a visually impaired veteran musician, and then what's being done to improve their lifestyle. Keep it here. This is I Love KL, only on BFM 89.9. BFM 89.9, this is I Love KL, bringing you the stories from the people from the capital city, and today we're exploring the blind community in KL. And one of the people who has risen over his disability is one Alfred Ho. He's a singer-songwriter who lost his sight at the age of 3.
You know I can't be found, sitting here all alone. If you can come around, at least please telephone, and I'll be cruel, and do a heartaches too.
Dubbed as the Malaysian Stevie Wonder, Alfred has been performing around the city for the past 2 decades and has 4 albums to his name. Alana Rebecca caught him at one of his shows.
And I'll be cruel, and do a heartaches too.
Oh, hi folks, I'm Alfred Ho, and a singer by profession. I play a little bit of guitar, and well, at this juncture I wish to thank BFM for having me on today, and I'm truly honored.
So how do you feel when people recognize you and they say, oh my gosh, he's the Stevie Wonder of Malaysia?
Oh, certainly I feel proud to be recognized, but I said again, I do recognize that Stevie Wonder is a great singer-composer, and he's got millions and maybe even billions of fans, but I like to be recognized in my own right, in the sense that I'd rather not be riding under someone's shadow, and I want people to recognize me for what I am. In any case, Stevie Wonder's music and my kind of music are totally different. He has his own style, and I believe I have my own style whereby I like to play the oldies.
Were you born blind?
Oh, well, actually, I'll give a little history of myself.
Okay.
I was blinded at the age of 3 after an attack of measles. I was staying in a small village, or kampong as Malaysia would call that, and we don't have a doctor there actually, so I think probably they do not know what to do when someone has measles, and I was told that I ran a high fever and affected my eyes, and then I got blind at the age of 3.
What would you say to be the hardest part of being blind?
Well, I guess not being able to see, I suppose. But then again, I always tell people that normally you don't miss anything that you have not experienced, right? But on the whole, I don't think I miss anything. I don't think I miss anything so far.
All right.
Yeah. As long as I still have my hearing, you know? Yeah, that's very important. I shouldn't lose that.
How did you learn to play the guitar?
Oh, well, that's interesting. I'll continue from where I left off, in the sense that I had measles and I got blind, and I think I was told by my parents that before 10 years old, probably about 7, 8 years old, I was enrolled into a mission school in Penang, run by missionaries, you know. It's called St. Nicholas School for the Blind. And well, I took up guitar because there was a guy from Sabah, one of my schoolmates. He played the guitar very well. At that time, maybe I was about 12, 13 years old, and he played very good guitar. I was so jealous of him, so to speak. And I told myself, oh wow, I must do like him, you know. So I made him teach me a few chords, and then after that, I was listening to records and all that, and then slowly picked up on my own.
In Penang, you worked as a telephone operator.
I did. I don't know whether I'm good or not. I did it for 10 years, and actually I was moonlighting a little bit by playing the pubs, but the money wasn't great. I think, if I remember correctly, a night I had to play 3-4 hours. I was paid $10. But I liked it, you know, because music is in my blood, you know. So after working for about 10 years, you know, because daytime I have to get up very early in the morning to go to work, you know, it's like a 8 to 5 job. So I have to get up very early to catch the bus and that kind of thing. And then I thought to myself, wow, it's very difficult. It's taking a toll on my health. So I told myself, it's either one or the other. So I thought a telephone operator's job, maybe another blind person can take over that job would be good. So since I have another alternative, I decided to take the plunge and go full-time to music. And that's where I landed in Kuala Lumpur in the mid-80s.
So while playing in the pubs, or when you do performances like you are about to tonight,
Oh yes, you must catch me tonight
I
at
will
the
make
pub.
sure I'll stay.
Thank you, thank you.
Are you frustrated about not being able to see people enjoying your music?
Oh no, not really, because I can hear their expressions, you know. I can hear them, wow, and they'll maybe make some noises or even come up to me and say, wow, you did a good gig tonight, that kind of thing, you know. And that makes me very happy. I don't think I've missed anything.
So even though you are short of your eyesight, your other senses are always there for you. So like
well
your
tuned,
hearing.
yes, so to speak.
Yes.
They say that our hearing is even better. It's like a compensation, many people say.
You've written songs like Train to Tennessee and Wendy's Love Song.
Yes.
When you write, what do you see in your mind?
Well, of course, if like you say Wendy's song, maybe I think of a girl. But if I at the train station, Train to Tennessee basically is a song where about this guy, he's going to say goodbye to his girlfriend who's about to be married to someone else. So it's a sad song. But Wendy's song is actually a jolly song about a schoolboy who's got a crush with his girl called Wendy. So that's a better one. In fact, I've written more than 10 songs actually. And the reason why I wrote these songs was because actually I wanted to go into singing. So you must do something in order to get in. So at that time we had Rediffusion, you know. And I think you'd heard of a name like Patrick Teo, and there was a guy, the controller of Rediffusion. His name is Royston Goh. So I asked for an audition. Actually, I wrote in for request, but on the pretext of having an audition, I wanted an audition so that maybe they could fix me up in some program, I thought. But in fact, actually, I wasn't that good at the time, but I just tried my luck, you know. So the people at Rediffusion were so kind, you know. I wasn't that good, but they gave me a chance to do some shows. So the shows were known as the Take 5 shows, you know, and we did a series of them and was well received by the people. And then subsequently, somebody heard me and recommended me to participate in Bakat TV. That was in 1971, you know, and I managed to qualify right up to the semi-finals. But then again, to me it's an achievement because at that time I wasn't so good, and I was sort of, you know, competing against greats like Brian Jeremiah and so many others, you know, who were much better than me. And for having got into the semi-finals, I think it's an achievement of sorts.
What are some of the challenges you faced throughout your singing career?
I suppose going from place to place, but I'm fortunate now that I have a wife who helps me along, you know. And more recently, I've met up with a friend going by the name of Stanley, who has been promoting me. Things are much better, but I think mainly it's going from place to place actually. Challenges, I can't think of any at the moment, but I think there should be none now because now my wife takes me around. You know?
What are some of the aspirations that you have till today?
I want to do something so that I can fall back onto during my twilight years. So because jobs are getting a bit scarce now, so I feel that if I have my own place, probably I could play my brand of music, and probably we can even have people who play the same kind of music, because I believe there's a good market for the old songs, you know, for the evergreen songs, and we just have to tap into the market. And I'm trying to raise funds for that actually.
That's great.
Yes, I'm trying to. I hope the public will help me out in that sense.
Being blind, do you feel like you're being left out, or do you take it in the most positive way possible?
I'm very positive about it, and I don't think we get too much discrimination. I don't think so in Malaysia.
That's good.
I think we are quite fortunate in that sense.
If you weren't blind, do you think that you'd be still doing music?
I don't know, Sometimes I think to myself, wow, supposing I could see well, maybe I would be a criminal, maybe. I might be a top-class criminal. I don't know. I hope not, of course, but, maybe all this is fated,
Next up, we go to Brickfields, one of the most, if not the most, blind-friendly towns in KL, to visit the Malaysian Association for the Blind, MAB. MAB is an association dedicated to serving the blind community and to improve their everyday life, their quality of life. Here's Dr. Jacqueline Salah Emmanuel, a manager at MAB who herself suffered visual impairment in her early 20s.
The MAB has been around for over 60 years, and it was established to look after the general well-being of blind persons in the country. How has MAB grown in terms of reaching out to the blind?
Right, we were small from the beginning, yes, and we have grown, and now we are in a complex. We have actually about 4 branches, one based in our Brickfields itself. It's the Gurney Training Center, where we provide vocational skills like massage, admin assistant courses, that is Pembantu Tarbiyah Sistem Maklumat courses, Pembantu Juru Teknik Sistem Computer. We have also spread out to Perak, where we just focus on rehabilitation, basically for the adults who could see before and now can't see. So they have to be rehabilitated. And we also have a center in Termelok, Pahang, where we provide skills like animal husbandry, agriculture, and weaving of baskets. This is for people for more on the rural areas. Latest, it is a contact training center located in Rawang.
What are some of the services provided by MAB?
Education, right? Then we have the job placement, the welfare, access and advocacy, where our officers will go to all these various corporates, government-linked companies to educate them or to explain to them. It should be how accessible it is, for the visually impaired and all that stuff. Then we also have services like a library service here. So visually impaired people can borrow books. We have braille books, and we also have talking books or audio books in MP3. Right, these are the books that we have. Then we have a braille production unit where we produce books in braille, and these books can be, let's say, university students. Okay, example, they're sitting for. You see, we have quite a number of blind people in various universities. All right, and example, they want their exam paper to be in braille. Right? So this particular unit, it's called BPU in short form, they will help the questions to be converted into braille, and we send it to the universities. They sit for the exams, and let's say now they want to mark the papers, we will transcribe it back into print for them. We give little services, like companies who are interested in doing storybooks and donating storybooks to the schools. Or we work closely with the Perpustakaan Negara Malaysia, producing books, for people, any part of Malaysia. Yeah. So that's the unit. We have a low vision unit. That low vision unit also provides, if people are interested in getting magnifying glasses, we have services like that. We even have a ABC or a multi-disabled children's center. Children from 1 year above till about 13 years, children who are multi-disabled. And we have an ICT lab, short courses. We do teach them short courses and all that. Okay. Yeah, quite a number of services that we have over here. Right,
that's a lot of services. That's really good. What do you think of exhibitions like Dialogue in the Dark? Do you think it leaves behind a lasting impression on citizens that changes the way they see and treat the blind?
Definitely it does. It definitely does. You see, what I know Dialogue in the Dark is, it actually takes them to a world of blindness. Okay, and to make them feel what is it like, what we go through like, and this will actually really make them understand. You see, the thing is, they say like, put oneself in one's shoes, then you will understand how the whole, of course it's going to be in a few hours, but at least they get the feeling, what is it like, being blind, And I think, Dialogue in the Dark is a very good idea. Good idea, and gives a good impact. It really gives a good impact on on the people who have go through it, like, you know.
Do you think the visually impaired feel as though they are being belittled or left out?
Why I think earlier I said is because people still are not convinced. The society still is not convinced out there.
That you can do the same.
Yes, we can do the same, but with the adaptive equipments that we have, or give us an opportunity. They can't assume, you see. People can't assume that we can't or we can. You see, sometimes they say seeing is believing, so you got to give us an opportunity.
Yep, I agree.
Right? I believe in opportunity. And if you give us the opportunity, then we will show what we can do. But we need to get adjusted to the environment. You know, it doesn't take that long to get adjusted, you know. Most important thing is the opportunity needs to be given.
And lastly, what can the citizens do to aid the visually impaired and even the association?
Come join us, be part of us, come and understand us. You're always welcome to visit our association. You see, Monday and Wednesdays is a visiting day from 9 to 12. You all can always email us, let us know, and you all want to know what kind of services we provide, go into our website or come and visit us. And basically, we are an NGO and we need to run most of these, these educational training areas, these training centers. So we definitely need funds. And y'all can be there for us to help our blind people to be educated in these various training centers that our blind people are in, you know. If y'all can help us in that, there'll be more blind people coming in to get trained, to be educated. And once get educated, then they can be employed. They can be financially independent. I think everyone wants to be financially independent. They want to stand on their own 2 feet. So we seek the help of the community, the people out there. Do come and visit us to understand the services that we provide for the blind clients of us.
That was Dr. Jacqueline Salah Emmanuel, a manager at the Malaysian Association for the Blind. And that's all the time we have on this week's show. If you missed any part of the interview, please do download the podcast at www.bfm.my and also do tweet us your thoughts at BFM Radio. I'm Darryl Ong and this has been I Love KL, bringing you stories from our capital city. Join us next week, only here on BFM 89.9, the business station.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on iTunes. BFM 89.9, the business station.